to you every Wednesday night. And it's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. And you're gonna love the show. They're all their own wildflowers. Wednesday night on Facebook Live. They'll be talking, laughing, shouting, and shaking their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie, Scalisi, and Mandy Jones. Wildflowers. Wildflowers.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always, next to me is the beautiful.
Hi, Bonnie Scalisi. How are you, everybody?
You are looking at the Wildflowers. Like I said, this is the 43rd episode of this show. This is June 30th, 2021. If you found the show, please share the show. Share the show, share the show, share the show. Bonnie, you want to tell them what our topic is for tonight?
Our topic tonight is showbiz, and we have an amazing guest who we're going to introduce in a minute. But first, we want to talk about some things that are coming up. We want to talk about the weekend, whatever it is. We're just going to do some business before we introduce our guest. Already tuning in is hi Bill Hansen, hi Bruno. How are you doing, Nancy Weems? Mary Underhill, how are you doing? Jan Brenner, how are you doing? Michael Stevens, your boyfriend. Thank you all for tuning in. So tomorrow, I am going to be at the brokerage in the Long Island Laugh Off, and I have quite a bunch of comedians. Like there's 20 comedians and me.
I know, so, it's like everyone I know.
Everyone I know.
It's like, okay, Billy Guyer pops up. He's doing it.
Travis Grant.
Travis Grant. There was like 4 people. I'm like,
Zach
oh my God. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, just everyone.
Everybody that...
I mean, I love everyone, but everyone that I love is going to be performing tomorrow.
Yeah, everybody's going to be...
But I'm there to see Bonnie. I'm laughing at any of your jokes.
Mandy's going to be there.
It's not because I think they're funny.
My boyfriend's going to be there.
Robin was just throwing out the garbage. Great.
Robin, maybe you'll show up. I don't know. So that's at 7:30 tomorrow at the brokerage, and then on July 12th we have something coming up. Mandy, you want to talk about that?
Yes, that's G's in West Hempstead. That is a free comedy show. That's going to be headlined by Peaches Rodriguez, hosted by Stephen Rocco Perillo. Ooh. Exactly. Stephen Rocco Perillo. No, he's a great gentleman. Peaches Rodriguez is hilarious. Bonnie and I will be down there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we also are doing, if you're a comic and you show up, you get to put your name in a hat and get a chance to perform that night. And also, if you do not win a spot, Bonnie and I look at your faces, you get participation points, and you get a spot, hopefully. I mean, unless there's so many comics that they go into the following month even after that. But we're going to be doing a show on August 2nd there. That's the first Monday of the month for August. So if you come down to the July show and show your support, then you may get put on the August show.
Yeah, so participation counts.
Yes.
It's like socialism for comedy. You show up and you get to be put on the stage.
We are the redcoats of comedy. We are the commies of comedy.
That's right. Just participate. Hi, Alan Streisfeld. How are you doing?
And one more shameless plug, Bonnie. On September 24th, we'll be back in the living room. The little room. The little room in Levittown with Terry McNeely. So that'll be fun.
Will be on that.
Bonnie and I will be down there, so that should be fun.
Yes, and we're looking forward to that. So, unless there's anything else?
No, that's it. Just share the show.
Okay, did you share the
show? I shared it. Okay. I'm ready.
All right. So our guest has been doing comedy for 42 years.
Yes.
Since 1979 for you mathematicians.
Oh, right.
And he also teaches comedy at Stand Up University, which I was a student from just recently, at Governors at the brokerage. Wait, there's more.
There's
He's
more.
also been on Comedy Central, Fox, A&E, VH1, which is MTV, and Lifetime, and Sirius XM Radio. The very talented and funny Peter Bales.
You guys are great.
And you're an amazing teacher, too.
Oh, you are great. I'm on the Wildflowers. I'm appearing, you should mention, at Pizza Hut in Central Islip. Very proud of that. And I have been doing comedy for 42 years.
You beat me.
Yeah, I beat you. You have,
By what, 39 years?
you have 3.5 years, which you should be very proud of.
I meant as a kindergarten teacher. I taught for 32 years.
Oh, you taught for 30, God, for
Yeah.
tenure, huh?
Thank God for 10.
And,
They would have kicked my ass out at the end because I'd had it.
well, you should be very, very proud of that, in
Yeah.
all honesty.
No, I love the children. So, Marcia Fitzpatrick, thank you. She shared the show. Can everyone please share the show? Adam Snare is saying Professor
Adam
Bales.
Snare.
So, did he take your class?
Adam Snare took our class.
Oh, cool. And
it's-
Jennifer Lentini is tuning in.
This is terrific.
We have a lot
All
of-
these people watching.
Yes.
Adam Snare is down in Florida. Hello,
Yes.
Adam.
He's been doing
Stand-up down there,
He's
yes.
bringing stand-up to Floridians. There you go. Right, Adam?
Bringing stand-up to Floridians. And that's just terrific. It's so hard to do stand-up these days. It's so hard to get stage time. You know, that's the important part of a contest. It's stage time. We talked about this a little bit
Yes.
before the show. It's not natural for comedians to compete against each other. You're working together to make audiences
Yeah, a lot
laugh.
of the people that I'm going to be
It's an
competing
unnatural
against,
thing,
I
really.
really like them. So
Yeah.
I mean, I even said it before. If I'm laughing, it's not to support you. It's it's because I accidentally laughed at something. I'm really there to see Bonnie. Which,
Oh,
like
I-
you said, it's awkward.
Yeah, it is.
I like Bruno's emoji. He's
Yeah,
got a thumbs
thumbs
up. Bruno, that's cool.
So-
and Robin DeVito, thank you for sharing.
So a lot of things go into the judging. Now, if you go over, that's automatic disqualification.
No, it's just.
How much
it's
time
just-
do you have?
It just they deduct points.
I think it's
and
5.
it could mean the difference between winning or losing.
How many?
And, they didn't say how many points, but I know they deduct points because they have 20 comics. You can't go over.
Don't be
because
hurt.
it-
Don't be hurt if
Oh,
you
I'm not gonna be hurt.
don't rank because it's
I actually made it. I
comedy
made it 2 years ago.
just
the
like
second
beauty.
part.
Comedy, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. That's
This is
absolutely
true.
And-
Very subjective.
It is.
Have fun. That's the number one thing every night when you do comedy. Have fun. And I give kudos. There are so many terrific comedians out there here on Long Island. We have a great comedy scene. Hard to get stage time. People are making the effort. I know so many of your terrific viewers. Jan Brenner, he's out in Arizona.
Yes, he said
Yes.
he's teaching Arizona how
Right.
real comics make people laugh. Good for you, Jan.
And Alan Streisfeld says, I'm a peach of a guy. This guy's out of control. He
I
can't
think he's
stop.
trying to bring in your
Singer.
wife through that conversation. Can we tell everybody who you're?
My wife is Peaches Rodriguez.
Yes.
I call her Peach.
And she's our headliner in this show
And
that we're
she's-
producing.
Yes.
And you're in a show on the same night, like kind of like in competition, but it's
I
a
know.
friendly competition.
Oh, it's a friend.
Yes.
I don't know.
Unless Peaches is going to go home and beat the crap out of you when she gets home. I don't know.
I know you're kidding, but you're really hit home with that. Yes, it's very odd being married to a stand-up comedian because whenever I say to her, I'm giving it, and she thinks I'm attacking her.
Oh yeah.
In our
That's a man
relationship.
and woman thing,
But
whether
Glenn-
it's a comedy or whatever.
Glenn's like, anything that you say, anything that he adds, I'm like, nah, I'm not really into that. He's like, you just don't think it's funny because I said it. but naturally,
That's
he's
right.
very funny, and I will take clips of what he says. But when he's like, yeah, let me polish this joke, I'm, yeah.
Well,
I kind of like it how it is.
some advice, and I say this at Stand Up University to our new students who are soon to become comedians, and I give this advice to all comedians. If you have a new bit, don't ask your wife or your mother or your kids.
Yeah, I took out a whole bunch of
close
stuff
friend.
after. I didn't listen. to you.
Don't
I
listen
never
to
listened
them.
to anybody.
Trust yourself and trust the audience. The audience will tell you what's funny. You don't tell the audience what's funny. They tell what's funny.
Oh, your mom goes, hello, Mr. Peaches. And Robin DeVito said, Peaches is really beautiful. Of course,
Hey!
She said she's a fox. My boyfriend is saying, Michael's saying, beauty's often in the eye of the beer holder.
Oh, there you go.
Funny, Michael.
Okay.
Michael is very funny in real life, and he calls the world his stage. But he has no desire to. He used to be in a band, so he knows like what the scene is like,
Well,
and he has no desire to be involved.
let me
in
say
it.
something to the people who are watching.
Yeah.
If you want to do stand-up comedy, and a lot of people do, the hardest step is the first step. And once you walk through that door, whether it's an open mic night or hopefully a supportive place like Stand Up University, that gets you started. And it's addictive, and you're going to love it.
Yeah,
And there's
it's
so
addictive.
many people out there walking around going, I want to do stand-up comedy, but there are very few who actually do it. And even fewer who stick with it. So, if you're watching this podcast and you want to do it, do it. That's my advice.
Well, there's another student of yours who's tuning in. Is Captain Splash?
Captain
Yeah,
Splash!
and she
All
said,
right.
She said she took your class and it was fantastic.
Oh, that's nice.
I also was saying he's a great teacher. I love how you pace back and forth during
I do.
the class. It's very like it's very riveting.
I do. I actually
find it-
pace. I do.
I love it. I love it.
I pace before I go on stage, too. I have nervous energy. You should be nervous before you go on a show.
Oh, good.
That's normal. You shouldn't be panicked. You shouldn't be hurting. You shouldn't be racked by anxiety. But it's normal to be nervous. You're going before an audience, and all eyes will be on you.
Yes.
There's a problem if you're not nervous. But, you want to have that under control. So.
Yeah. So our topic is showbiz, and part of the stand-up university class that I loved is that sometimes they would go and Rich Walker and Peter Bales would tell some of their experiences that they've experienced in comedy. As Peter said, he's been doing it a while, and he has some amazing things that have happened. Which there's one particular story that I love that I hope you'll tell.
I'll tell it. I'll tell
Okay.
it. But we start out with brand new comedians by asking them who influenced them. Everybody has somebody who really influenced them. And I could ask the two of you, before you went into stand-up comedy, who did you admire as a comedian before you started?
I like Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis? There's no wrong answers to these questions.
I liked him when I was 9.
That's a perfectly good answer.
I'm a big Jim Gaffigan fan.
Well, good for you.
I love him.
Good for you.
I mean, I would have to say George Carlin's my favorite, but I think how Jim Gaffigan is not raunchy and doesn't curse at all, and
That's what you like about him.
Well, I think that's harder. I think that's harder than having adult content.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I think writing a joke that everyone can laugh at is
Jim
harder.
Gaffigan is a great writer. I was probably influenced first by Robert Klein and
Oh, I
George
love Robert
Carlin
Klein. That's right.
because
I had his record.
he had a number of records. His greatest one was Child of the 50s. And I saw him as a comedian come out on The Tonight Show. Wait, he's not wearing a jacket and tie? George Carlin, too. He's wearing a jean jacket, long hair.
Yeah.
This is not the Catskills. This is something different. They took the baton, those two guys from Lenny Bruce, and they ran with it. And they influenced my generation of comedians. I know Jerry Seinfeld was most of all influenced by Robert Klein. I started actually at the comic strip in New York when Jerry Seinfeld was hosting the Monday night audition night. And in those days, the host passed you at the comic strip. And when you were passed, it meant you could hang out late at night after they were done with the schedule. And back in those days, people stayed up later. It seems to me everything today starts earlier and ends earlier, whether it's Broadway or a baseball
I think
game.
that has to do with COVID.
Well, no, I think it started way before that. Everybody, back when I started out in comedy in 1979, people used to roll into the comic strip at 2 a.m. And the comic strip kept the show going because they were developing comedians. And I would be pleased. I went on at 2:45 in the morning. This is the story, and it's true. It's true. I went on.
This is a great story, so listen up.
2:45 in the morning, I went on stage to 4 people who were sitting in the back. And the MC leaves the room. The waitress leaves the room. There's nobody in the room but me and those 4 people. And they're in the back, and I can't see them very well. I can't see them at all because the lights. Yeah. And I'm doing my act, and I'm not getting any response, but that was normal because I was new and I was really bad. So I couldn't see them, but they got up and left. And I kept going.
You didn't know they left.
And people complain, I performed to 4 people, I performed to 2 people. I performed to no people, 0 people. And those of you that know the comic strip know there's a window that looks into the room, and Jerry Seinfeld was hanging out at the bar, and he looked through the window, and he saw what the situation was, and I'll never, ever forget this. As long as I live, he walked into the room, walked down the aisle, right to the side of the stage, and he looked at me, and I stopped my act, and I looked at him, and he said, "Hey, man, there's nobody here." I'll never forget that.
But it's like, Jerry Seinfeld said that to him,
And
which is so cool.
I
think
just
that's
shrugged,
amazing.
I just shrugged, and oh well. But another thing I can say about Jerry Seinfeld is, and when people get down, it's normal. You get down, you have a bad set. You can't. First of all, you got to shake that off because it happens to everybody. Everybody. I don't care how famous and big you are. People get down and upset and angry at themselves when they have a bad set. I've seen Jerry Seinfeld at the bar at the comic strip saying, "I'm going to quit this business." He just got back from an upstate gig, and "I'm going to quit this business. What the hell am I doing? I hate this." And everybody bombs. Everybody bombs. It's part of the process. Okay? And in fact, when you're a comedian, one of the things you learn how to do is how to bomb without making the audience uncomfortable. That's a skill that comedians learn.
Ooh.
So please, and I know that you have a lot of comedians watching right now, and they've been in for some for a long time and some for not for very long. And as you go along in comedy, you learn everybody bombs, you learn how to deal with it, you learn how to get through it, and you learn how to learn from it.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, but a couple of people are saying Captain Splash was influenced by Carol Burnett and Eddie Murphy. Robin DeVito said Robert Schmoll, I believe that's how you spell his name.
Schimmel.
She said he was amazing. Bombing is one thing, and then heckling is like a whole nother realm.
That's what I was going to ask.
Have you ever dealt with
Okay.
heckling? I so far have never been heckled.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Here's what people need to understand about heckling.
Yeah.
All right. There are plenty of people in the audience who say things when they get really into the show,
Or
they
they're
get
drunk.
excited, or they're drunk. Okay. And they say things like, "Yeah, that happened to me too." "Oh, that happened to," don't, when
Right.
you're doing your bit, and at the table, "That happened to me. Did you hear that? Remember that happened to you?"
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
table starts talking.
Yes,
It's frustrating. But then they'll throw things at you because they think they're helping. Now, every comedian out there watching this show knows they're not helping. Okay, but they're not being malicious. They're not being mean. They're just being into the show and kind of out for the night and kind of innocently interrupting. And
They
so
want to be part of the
they
show.
want to be a part of the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
And what you can't do is you can be angry at them on the inside, but on the outside you can't show it because you need to have a good set. You don't want to make anybody mad. You want to keep going while your stomach's churning. So rarely do you actually need to stop and deal with it.
Just keep going.
Just keep
Like-
going.
like a-
And a lot of times it's happening down front, and you and the table are the only ones that hear it, and the rest of the people don't. What you're talking about is, it is rare. It is rare. I've had it happen many times, but it's very rare when somebody's actually trying to be mean and mess you up.
Yeah.
You've never had that happen. You've never had that happen.
So far.
But one day, I used to do pips in Brooklyn, where that was the norm. I mean, but at a good comedy club or a well-run room like your room, where you have people who know what comedy is and they're there and they understand what's going on, you're not going to have a hostile heckler. But I bet you've seen what I'm talking about a million times. Well, that happened to me too. I love that.
Yeah.
And then after the show, they come up to you and they go, "I helped you out, didn't I? Didn't I help you out? Didn't I?" Wasn't I? Oh man, I was like, I made your show. You want me to come on to your show, right? It's just that's
the only thing that I've had, and I'm sure Mandy has had this too, is there was one show where it was a fundraiser. This didn't happen to you. This happened to me, but maybe it happened to you. And they had been doing stuff since the afternoon, and this comedy show wasn't until night. So a lot of the people were there drinking all this time, and there was a whole bunch of us comedians, and we were performing for free to raise money. And by the time we went up, they were just smashed. The audience was smashed, and nobody would shut up. No one would listen. So this one comedian, Tom Crescendo, I don't know, you know who he is. He gets up there, and he let out a big giant belch. Like, you know, one of those really loud belches, like from that movie. It was a movie with the Revenge of the Nerds. Okay, he let out, and everyone was like shocked, and they shut up, and they looked, and they faced forward, and they looked at him, and he goes, "Now that I've got your attention," and that's the only time they shut up. And then they shut up for me because the teacher part of me came out, and I was like, "Okay, everybody, I just need a few minutes of your time. Everybody, just please, you know, calm down and just listen." And they actually shut up for me. You know, but everybody else, they talked through the whole thing, and you know, I didn't blame them because they were having fun. They were
sure they were.
You know.
That's not your fault. To all the comedians out there, you know that when comedians get together at the diner, which is kind of a ritual.
Peaches was talking about that. I hardly ever went to the diner after.
We talk about, when comedians get together socially, we talk about the disaster stories, just like you are now. Because 99.9% of the time, the show goes great. So when you get together at the diner, remember when the power went off? Remember when the whole audience was drunk because they were drinking all day? Remember what went wrong, because that's funny to comedians after the fact. While it's happening, it's not.
Well, Tugboat Manny is tuning in.
Tugboat Manny! I love him.
And he said, "I have the utmost respect for Peter. And hey, girls, ask him to tell you the story about Jerry Seinfeld." You missed it. He just told it.
He's got many stories.
You know, that's a great story.
Tugboat Manny, I love you. Some people are naturally funny, and you are one of those people.
Oh my God.
Proud.
Yeah,
I love Manny.
I love looking at his posts because, you know, he gets joy out of making people laugh, and I think that's the reason that people should do comedy. It's because they want to make people be happy and forget the bad circumstances that maybe they have, you know, things going on in their personal life.
Also comedy is very healthy emotionally. Robert Klein said, I had no punch, but I had punch lines. You don't have to be super angry. You don't have to come from a poor household to be a successful comedian. But
it helps.
You know what? That's exactly, you said it. That was exactly what I was going to say 1 second before you said it. In some ways, it does help. It's better, right? It's better than fighting. It's better than drinking. It's better than doing drugs.
Oh, they did all that too.
It's a great way to express yourself. I mean, it just is. And I love that so many people are doing it. I love that there are more women in comedy than ever before.
This is true.
In the show I'm in tomorrow, there's only 3 women, maybe 4, because somebody's name was Kyle, and I'm not sure if Kyle is a boy or a girl. So if Kyle is a girl,
and I'm sure Kyle has issues about that all his life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kyle is a
I'll
great.
find
You
out
haven't seen
tomorrow.
a picture. You just saw a list.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a Kyle. There was a Kyle.
Kyle could be a girl or
That
a
was a
person,
girl
right?
that I went to
Right, it
college
could be
with.
either one.
Yeah.
Because I watched The Housewives of Beverly Hills, and there's a Kyle who's a girl, and I also had a boy in my class in kindergarten, and his name was Kyle, and he was a boy. So I'm like, okay, so there's either 4 women, including me, or 3 out of 20.
I'm not making this up. I had a classmate, a male classmate in 6th grade, whose name was Shirley.
no.
Yeah,
Shirley, you
and
can't be
in
serious.
7th grade, he killed himself.
What?
No,
Oh.
that's how comedy works. You start with the truth, This is what we teach. This is what we teach.
I almost had a heart attack.
You look over. No, you start with reality.
Surely you're joking.
You start with reality. All the comedians watching know this. You start with the truth, and then you exaggerate and twist. So I started with the truth, and then I exaggerated.
So tell us the truth about Shirley.
Shirley,
like,
I don't
did
know. I
people make
lost
fun
touch
of
with
him?
Shirley. He's probably rich and very
I've
successful.
never heard of a man named Shirley.
Sure, it's possible. You know, and I'll tell you something else. It just pops into my mind. My grandmother and my grandfather on my mother's side had the same first name, Francis.
Huh.
Francis could be a boy or a girl.
Yes.
I know one of my Facebook friends. His name is
And
Francis.
Did they go? What did they go by? Fran and Frank, or just
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fran and Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's
So-
true.
So Tugboat saying, "Sorry, I missed the story." And Peter taught me on day one that the more vulnerable you are, the better you'll be at comedy. And right there, I told him I took mental meds, and he is the reason why I'm so open about everything on stage. Yeah, Manny, and I think it also helps. It's like therapy in a way.
You know, and Manny, the future is so bright for you once those meds start to work. I really want you to understand. I love Manny. And you know what? You have to be honest with your audience. You can't be somebody you're not. The audience is like dogs. They can smell fear,
Yeah, they could detect it.
and they can smell when somebody's full of it, too, up there.
Mhm.
You know? That's why one of my pet peeves about comedy is when skinny women go up on stage and do jokes about their weight when they're not heavy. You know, it has to
Oh,
be...
Mandy.
No, I don't have any jokes about being fat.
No,
I
I'm
say I'm fat hearted in one of the jokes.
You what?
I say I'm a fat girl at heart in one of the jokes.
Oh, well, that's different. But I mean,
You have a good joke about like
what is the joke?
putting different things on
Okay,
her
okay.
husband's penis and licking them off.
Okay. Oh,
I made it a little more graphic, but no, it's pretty
Alright.
much that.
all of the ministers watching the show, I think you've
Yes.
seen enough.
Yeah, it's
Um,
basically that.
If you're a priest, probably this is not the show to watch. But what is the joke when you say you're
Well,
a fat girl at heart?
Well, I accuse my husband of having a food fetish because he's always saying he's going to stick his dick in like cake or ice cream. So I say you have a food fetish.
I like this joke.
But he doesn't have a food fetish. He just knows that I'm a fat chick at heart and I would eat the shit out of some sweets off his dick.
All right, to the audience, that's my fault because I asked.
Exactly. I knew we didn't want to go there, but it was like, man, you wrote a joke about food fetishes. You got to tell the joke to the professor.
Nevin Cummings is tuning in. Hi, Nevin. And he said, awesome show, very informative, and don't forget the boy named Sue, famous song.
Oh, that
Yeah, very
song?
informative.
I don't know that song.
Johnny Cash. It's
Yeah.
a classic song.
Tugboat says he loves you.
I love Tugboat
Yeah.
in a manly way.
Well, you know, the thing about saying like thin girls is that not everybody who's thin was always thin, because like I was almost more than 80 pounds heavier than I am now.
So you
I
can
had
really
twins.
identify as
And
anything.
and my weight I've been fat, I've been thin, I've been fat, I've been thin.
And stand-up comedians will tell you the answer to that if you want to talk about it on stage.
Yeah.
I used to be much heavier. I used to really have a weight problem. I used to live with my parents.
Yeah, I said
I used to.
I-
and then you just do the joke
Right,
and it
right.
works fine. That's all you
Right,
have to
right.
do. You don't have to put it in the present tense
right.
unless it makes sense.
Yeah, because that is the one thing that can change is weight.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
people who are thin can become heavy. People who are heavy can become thin.
Yeah.
You can't change ugly. No, I'm just joking. You can actually change ugly. You can get plastic surgery. So everything's subject to change. The only thing you can't change is, I think, your height. But they're working on that. Soon they'll have something.
Are they
for that,
working
too.
on that? Really?
Sure they are. So Captain Splash says the screen is frozen. Is that
I think
happening
that's.
for
I
anyone
think that might
else?
be just you,
I
Captain
think
Flash.
that's Captain Splash's fault.
Yeah, that might
I
be
think what we're
yours.
saying is like it's a tidal wave. It's affecting the screen. So
Should we do the
should I
ad?
do the ad? Yeah. Let's segue into our sponsor.
Oh, cool.
So our sponsor is a friend of ours, Key Fitz, and he and his beautiful wife Teresa own a business called Keys Love Jewelry. Stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Keys cutlery, knives, swords, and self-defense equipment. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. I bought a taser from them. Shop online, keyslovejewelry.com, keyscutlery.com. You can see them in person at Lala's Flea Market 1075 Portion Road in Farmingville, New York. If you want to contact Key directly, his phone number is 631-379-1781. And is that coupon still
Yeah,
going on?
today is June 30th, so the last day you could use Wildflowers at checkout for 10% off. Or if you just mention Bonnie and I / the Wildflowers at Lala's Flea Market, Key and Teresa will give you the 10% off discount.
And they have jewelry, like it's gorgeous jewelry. They have he came in one day and he showed us like these amazing swords, and they were like art.
I did a podcast, and he was there, and we're doing a show together soon for Dan Romano.
Yes,
very soon. And I saw the stuff, and it is so cool. And I'm just saying
it's
that
really cool.
it's very cool what
It's
they
like
do.
art.
I'm really looking forward to working with Keith Fitz on this upcoming show for Dan Romano. So thank you for getting that plug in. I segued, but it's so cool.
You're on direct competition with your wife. So you're going to be in Dan's show, but we didn't do that on purpose.
Oh, is that the same night?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
But
okay.
the-
Let me
but
just
the
say
flyer says
Let me
the
say
22nd.
That was a mistake.
You know,
It was.
I want to say this
Mandy.
on behalf of myself. Their show, Bonnie and Mandy show, come to my show. Right. Listen,
My
you know what?
show's
You know what? Seriously, there's plenty of audience out there. There's
It's
plenty.
true.
There's
It's
plenty.
true.
Yes,
You know,
and we actually, it wasn't a mistake.
No,
That
it's
was on
not
the
a
same-
mistake. There's
same night.
both
We were
shows.
supposed to have it on the 5th, but July 4th is a holiday, so the club owner asked us to change it to the 12th.
Yeah, but it's
And,
fine. It's
you know,
okay. No,
We didn't do it on purpose. Is what
Long
my
Island
point
has
is.
millions of people on it. There's
Right.
plenty of audience, and the more, the better. It's as simple as that. And we should have the highest respect for a producer, like a terrific producer like Evan Weiss. We should have the highest.
Everybody be nice to each other. Kathy Arnold is tuning in. Hi,
Hey,
Kathy.
Kathy.
She
And we
said
should-
she's got you.
She what me?
She's
She's got you,
you.
Peter.
Oh, she's got me.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But you know, we should support. I'm kidding. Evan Weiss,
We
longtime
love
guy.
him.
I love him. But anybody, comedian, producer, I don't care who you are. You're putting on a show. We respect you. We love you for doing it because comedians need stage time and audiences need shows. So keep doing it wherever. Good for you.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I have hidden talents. You wouldn't believe
Like
the hidden talents that I have.
any sports?
No, but I have a food fetish. that
Oh
I-
my
that-
god!
You know, and I was going to write a comedy bit about it, but it's
But
already
it was
taken. It's already
inappropriate.
taken. It's already taken.
Do you express that food fetish at the diner after shows?
I do. I do.
Just wondering.
I'm not
He just keeps talking about the diner. All right, so Kathy
Bonnie wants to know what goes on at the diner when
I
she's
never
not
get
there.
invited to the diner. And Peaches was like telling me, she's like, no, you don't get invited. You just go. You follow them in your cars and you just go. But I'm like so polite. I don't do that. So Kathy Arnold's saying she's going to his show, and that's why I said she got you. She'll be there. Okay, so she's gonna go to your show. So, Kathy, you're gonna go to her. His wife is gonna be performing at our show, Peaches. So, take it up with Peaches.
Listen,
We're just joking. We're just
I
joking.
guarantee
We're joking.
I
Not
guarantee
really.
you both shows are going to be successful. I mean, this is a. I'm telling you.
I know it's a no-brainer.
We
It's a
have
no-brainer.
Steve
You're
Rocco Perillo is going to be the host.
Oh
You
wait.
You call it the host if it's a man.
Steve
Host.
Rocco Perillo
Yes,
is going to be there.
it's a hostess.
He's our
and
host.
It's a woman. No, it is a host.
Why would you say
I'm
that?
joking. I love it.
Why?
I love Steve Rocco Perillo.
And-
He's another stand-up university alumni. He's a terrific
Oh,
comic.
you don't hear
He
about
kept
that
secret.
enough.
Well,
I didn't know
not
that, and I know
secret.
a lot about
So
Steve.
he's
Did he take it multiple times?
Kathy
Yes.
Peaches.
Oh,
and
with
he's,
you?
Yes. What are you talking about? He's great. Steve Rocco Perillo.
I know he's great. I just never knew he did. I wasn't sure
And
if
he's
he
helped
had.
us out with the class. He's performed on our
Okay.
graduation shows.
There
I
you
love the
go.
guy. And he's unique with that character that he has.
Absolutely.
So let's give credit where credit is due.
Oh, I just was
Surprised?
surprised.
In a good way.
In a good way. He's very dark. He doesn't. I would not think
I love
that.
his darkness.
But I guess you don't really write their jokes. You
No,
just
no, but
help
I mean,
them
that's his
shape
character. And
That's his persona.
that's his persona and his character. And you have to go in the direction that you feel is right for you. And you know what I say at Stand-Up University? Comedy has rules, but rules are made to be broken. And what counts most of all is the laugh. And I say, hey, if the audience laughs, leave it in. How about
Yes,
that?
yes.
How about that for everybody? If the audience laughs, leave it in.
Yeah.
Okay? And comedy works in threes. Comedy works in threes, as all the comedians watching know. Unless maybe on this one it's a 4 or a 2. Rules are made to be broken.
So
Remember.
Kathy Arnold said, not just Justin Bieber's peaches. I don't really follow Justin Bieber, so I don't know. Maybe Mandy knows.
I don't know. Oh well, I think he has a peach tattoo on his neck.
No,
Oh,
and
does he?
actually, Kathy Arnold, I know the song you're referring to because when I'm driving in the car and I'm not controlling the radio, I have to listen to it because Peach says, "Oh, I love this song." Peaches.
Maybe
he
Kathy
has a
knows
song.
that.
Yeah,
So
she knows that. She knows.
Tugboat Manny wants to know, who is Peter's favorite student? Oh, that's putting him on the spot. You don't have to answer that.
Top 10.
Oh, we've had terrific students, and we have terrific students. We have a graduation show coming up this Tuesday
Oh,
at the brokerage. Governors at the
wow,
brokerage.
you already had a whole class.
We
since
had a
the
whole
last time I
class
was
since
there?
it
Because
goes quick.
when I was in his class, we were interrupted by COVID. So
Right,
we
right.
literally had 2 classes, and then everything was shut down.
And then we
For a year.
basically we gave extra classes. We started
Right.
from the
Then
beginning.
let us start all over again.
Now, every comedian out there remembers their first time on stage. And Stand-Up University is a show with invited family and friends in a supportive atmosphere because
They'll
Your
bully
first-
you. I'm just
No,
kidding.
they're not gonna
I'm
bully you.
joking.
They're not
I'm
gonna
that was
joking.
very sweet.
it's going to be very supportive because you don't want to be traumatized. Do you know I was at an undergrad at Northwestern University and I was interested in trying out stand-up comedy. And my friend who's also a comedian in New York City named Scott Blakeman booked me to open for a porno film.
Oh
So
my
it was
God.
it was a bunch of fraternity guys waiting for a porno
Oh my
movie
God.
who were not expecting me to walk out and do bad comedy. And basically, I got booed off the stage and extremely traumatized.
That is traumatizing.
No, I know people who have bad experiences on their first performance and then hide
And then
for
never
a
go
year.
up again.
Well, yeah, but you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of what Stand-Up University does. We will take 1 year off of your development. You have to go to open mic nights. Everybody does it.
I run an open mic at Coasters in East Meadow with Jennifer Lantini every other Monday. And she was in Disneyland, so we missed her. We just had one, and it was so fun. And it was very well attended. And after everyone hung out, it's like Cheers for comics.
Okay, well, that's great that you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt you. Give myself a little plug,
No.
and Coasters a
No,
little plug.
that segue was perfect, and it's good that you do that.
And we support.
I'm not even. I'm
we-
serious.
We
It's
had
good
a
that you
guitar
do that.
player that came in that didn't know it was a comedy open
Okay.
mic, and Will Romero and I run the mic together, and we looked at each other and we go, "He was here and he's been waiting. Let him get up and play the guitar." So he did, and he was really good. It was an acoustic guitar. He played 2 songs, started the mic, and then we went on to comedy. But
No one had the heart
Well,
to
you're
tell him.
very nice. To do that.
yeah, I mean, it was kind of very relaxing. It set the tone, you know. And then we started. It kind of was like starting with music. But there are mics that have music and comedy combined, which is a very interesting idea.
Catch a Rising Star, way back in the day, used to have music and comedy. And when I started to Catch a Rising Star, I would go on after Pat Benatar. Does that name ring a bell with either of you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Because-
was like the rebel
How
hot
old do you think
chick.
I am?
I don't know how. We're not gonna go into how old you are, but I'm just so amazed.
I'm old.
Okay, so
Yeah, I
Pat
know, Pat
Benatar.
Benatar, yeah.
I'm probably as old as you.
No,
After
you're,
the
no,
show-
no, you're
After
not.
the show,
He's
we'll
been doing
compare
comedy
ages.
for 42 years, Bonnie.
I look incredible,
Oh, yeah, all right.
Bonnie. I look incredible.
We were just talking about your hair and how gorgeous it is.
You want to know what happened? So I have this white hair. Now here's a reference that you have to be old to get.
Okay, let's see if I get this.
Phil Donahue.
Love Phil Donahue.
No.
No, see that? See that?
I
She
feel
doesn't
You're
know
like
idea
young.
who he is.
I feel like I've heard the name, but I'd have
He
to
was
think.
a
He was a
talk show host who
Okay.
was really
He had all
popular,
white hair.
and he had white hair, and he was blown out of the water by Oprah. Quite frankly, that's why he went off the air. And anyway, but he had white hair like I do, and I was like 6 months ago just walking in Manhattan, down Fifth Avenue, only in New York.
Don't
this
tell me
happened.
you ran into
No,
Phil
no, I
Donahue.
didn't. No, but I have no,
Hi,
but,
Cedric Cooks.
no, but
I love you,
I was
Cedric.
walking down the sidewalk, and a random stranger New Yorker walked past me. Neither of us broke our stride, and
They thought you were Phil.
no, he goes like this. I felt and he, just, he was making a joke. I mean, but don't
When you did that in your stand-up, because I had never seen your stand-up, and you said, no, you compared yourself to
Jerry Springer.
right?
Yeah.
You know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
and,
Jerry
and you
Springer.
did make this Jerry Springer joke
He's
when I saw
he's
you.
on television now.
And that actually is funny.
Is he still on?
Yeah, he's still on. Yeah, on
And-
Channel 11.
Oh,
I
didn't-
can't watch him because I know that the stories are phony. They're fake. They weren't at the beginning. The first 2 years they were true, and then I knew that it was fake. I can't watch fake.
Well, most reality shows are.
Now that I know that they are kind of scripted, but at the beginning,
Yeah.
like they weren't. So they were really fun to watch. So your mom is saying, I have a picture with him with my sisters, and we went to the show. You went to see Phil Donahue?
Or you went to see Jerry Springer.
What? It has to be Phil Donahue. No, I mean your mom's young. So Mary,
He's going straight to hell, Springer. That's what she said.
He
So I guess she means Phil Donahue then.
I think it's so great that your
That's
mom is
funny.
watching. That's
Oh
just-
yeah, my dad gets on here too. They
her
both
family
support
is so
me.
supportive.
I
My
love it.
family is not supportive. My dad would be, but he has no technology skills, even worse than me, and he's 92, so he gets a pass.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Has he seen your act?
He has. He used to help me practice because I have a memory problem, and I would give him the script, and I would say, if I don't say a word, stop me. So like some of it's like dirty and everything, and he's like, "You left out this word," because he was an assistant principal at Cardozo High School in Queens.
Wow, good for
Social
him.
studies.
Now you asked me what my I teach history
Oh,
for the
wow.
City University of New York. Dr. Bales, actually
Bales.
Bales. Sorry, I mispronounced that. And I love history. I love history. And
My dad reads these books. That's what I got him for Father's Day. I went to Borders Books, and
you got him a book,
4 books.
4 books. How did you know what books to buy?
I had him. He couldn't answer the phone, so I called him because I'm not good with technology. I don't order things online. So I went to Borders Books and I read him like 100 titles, and I know he likes history books, and I read Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves. No, Dwight Eisenhower. Blah blah blah. And he's like, no. And then I'll say something. He goes, yeah, that one's good. And I read like 100 titles to get
Oh,
down
that's
to 4
nice
books.
that you did that.
And he loves to read.
That's really nice that you did that.
Well,
I'm
I
sure
figured
that, no,
I
it's
used to
really
usually
good.
get him booze, but he's getting up there.
No,
so
Get
something to
him
read.
history books. That's a gift that lasts beyond a lifetime. It's terrific. That's really good. That's so nice.
So you teach. Tell us more about that. You teach history.
I teach, for the City University of New York at Queensboro and Bayside, and I love it. And
That's where I taught. I taught on the border of Bayside. St. John's University
Sure.
down the road, exit
Heard of it.
25. I taught at PS 173, the Fresh Meadow School. So it's on the border of Flushing and Bayside.
Okay.
I'm not good with geography.
Challenging area.
No, it was a great area.
Really?
Yeah.
Kathy
has a star in her eye, so I don't know what that means, Kathy.
Who is your
Taz
favorite
is
person to work
watching.
with?
say again?
Your favorite person to work with?
My favorite person.
Is it Rich Walker?
My pal Rich Walker. We're partners in Stand Up University.
Is that true?
That was the
It's not your wife.
best part, watching you two fight.
We're not fighting.
You
we're
were
having,
like a married couple.
we're
that were
having passionate-
bickers.
We're having passionate
Uh-huh.
debates about what's best for a joke, and we even joke about it because we
That
actually
was so fun.
we had an
That was
argument.
worth the admission right there.
We had an argument over should the joke include the word purple or lavender. That's the detailed level that we get in on this. But we've been going for 23 years, and we didn't expect it to
You
be
have been
like
doing
that.
this together for 23. No
Yes.
wonder you're fighting like a married couple. I didn't know that.
And we're much better at teaching it than we were when we started out, because we have a
You have a
technique.
passion for
We have a
it.
technique
You guys
and a
love it.
passion, and we go long. This is not a class where we're going to next 10 minutes is up next. We stay late. You know that. And we work on every joke, and sometimes it's like a therapy session.
Absolutely.
But I couldn't be prouder, and we get these comics up, and they're going to be up Tuesday, another new crop, and they're going to do
Plug
well.
that. For people who are watching, if you're interested, like Robin DeVito was talking about, she's thinking of dabbling in it. If they're interested in becoming a comedian, how would they find stand-up University?
Standupuniversity.com. It's as simple as that. Tell them you saw Peter on a famous Wildflowers podcast, and
And you get 10% off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
no, you can. If you take the class, you get
You get a lot for your
10%
class.
off of Key Fit's merchandise.
Esther Forrester is watching. Hi, Esther. And she's talking about how is your wife. We were talking about Peaches earlier on, and how challenging it is for two comedians to be together.
How is my
You
wife?
must have a lot of Peaches stories.
I have a great story about the challenge of being married to a comedian.
Mhm.
I was booked in the Catskills, and I forget at one of the old hotels. And I go up there, and there's a wedding, and they switched me somehow to do stand-up in the room that they usually used for dancing.
Mm.
So they turn off the dancing, and nobody wants to watch stand-up comedy. But I go up there, and I've got to do 30 minutes to
Oh my
cover my
God.
time. And they didn't want me, and they hated me, and I tried crowd work, and I tried material, and I tried everything I could think of. I couldn't get them. It was a bomb with a capital B. I bombed. I couldn't get the audience. And every comedian knows that feeling, and you're sweating, and you feel horrible, but you got to cover your time. Finally, I do 30 minutes. I get off stage. I sit down next to Peaches Rodriguez, my beautiful wife, and it's just that miserable feeling. Oh, and she goes, I think I could have got him. I go, are you kidding me? I mean, I was so deflated. I'm still deflated.
So Esther goes, isn't she your favorite one to work with? Have you ever worked with Peaches?
Yes, many times.
Okay.
Yes.
So she goes
we
at
go-
least in other ways, maybe. Esther!
Do you write anything other than comedy?
Yes, actually. I have a novel called Long Live Long Island, and I've written a humorous history book, which has a great title. I'll do the joke. That's how I got the title to the book. I was on a tour of Gettysburg National Park, and this woman raised her hand and goes, "How come they always have the battles in national parks?"
I
just went there.
That's
I
a
looked at
question
her.
I would ask.
And I said, it was an incredible coincidence. And then I said, actually, you ever think, how come meteors always land in craters? It's the same kind of thinking.
That's like a question I would ask.
How come they always have the battles in national parks? And I'm doing a rewrite on it.
I'll meet you at the national park and it's
That's
going
cool.
down.
What?
It's like I'll meet you at the national park and it's going down. Like I'll meet you at the
Right,
flagpole.
the next battle will take place there. Hey, Lou
Meet you
Pratt
at
is tuning in.
Yellowstone.
Hi, Lou. He's saying hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. No, never be sorry.
Never apologize for who you are, Lou.
That's right.
Lou can be a
Lou is
female
awesome.
name.
Oh, Lou is great.
And happy
Male
birthday
or
to
Who is
female?
Lou?
Fake
Lou
laugh,
is a friend of
Mandy.
mine.
Lou is a friend of yours?
Lou and I both have autistic sons, and Lou brings his son everywhere. It's like, I have two of them, so, I'll bring them places, but I feel very stressed when I bring them out because I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to bring the party down. But Lou's son is just such a well-behaved, better behaved than any person in the audience, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him at
And-
comedy shows, and he's amazing.
Bonnie has done something wonderful.
Oh, and Luke took your class.
Yes, Bonnie has done something wonderful, and that and healthy, but more importantly, funny, is talk about your life challenges, including your autistic son's, on stage in a great joke that feels right, felt right.
You
to
helped me with one of those jokes.
Yes, but doesn't it feel right?
Yes, and you know who loved the one about the lazy eye? Your husband.
Oh yeah.
He loves that joke.
Oh, good.
He helped me write that
Good,
joke.
good, good.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and I did a show just recently with Eli Velasquez and Justin McDonald at the brewery. I don't remember the name of the venue exactly. And just happened this woman was having her 50th birthday there, and her son was autistic, and he had the screen in front of him. And she stayed because the comedy show, her party was first, the comedy show was after. And after the show was over, she came up to me and she hugged me, and she was like, "You just made me feel like I'm not alone."
Good.
So
That's.
and then we talked for like 40 minutes because
I'm
her
glad.
son is school age, and she doesn't
But
know.
just because you mentioned it in your act,
right.
that's so great. That's
Right.
such.
Opens up.
That's so great. That's a terrific. I mean that. That's just great, and that it's all connected. That wouldn't have happened unless you came out in the class and talked about it, and we're dealing with it. I think it's terrific. I think one time at Stand-Up University, we had one of our students who was going on stage for the first time. He came out of the closet on stage in the graduation show, and his parents were in the audience and found out by watching the graduation show.
Mm.
And I'll never forget this, and Rich will tell you, they were hugging, they were crying after the show. It was really nice.
It was a good joke.
And it was
serious.
it was a terrific act. Yes, because
Aw, well that's nice.
no, it's moments. I know what Bonnie's talking about. Moments like that
Yeah.
you remember.
That was meant
really
a lot
do.
to me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it meant a
It
lot.
should. It should.
So, do you have anything you want to plug?
I want to plug their show because my show will be packed and they're going to need the Dan Ramon. What date is that?
July 12th.
Okay, I got to
For
remember.
both.
I got to remember that to be there.
Your show is $25. Our show is free.
All
So
right.
it's for the first
All right,
class
all right.
people over there.
All right. So I think you just topped our show.
We're
But,
the economy.
Yeah,
Flyers,
right,
and you guys
right.
are the first class.
How about this? And I'm dead serious about this. July 22nd at Governor's, the main room.
Oh,
in
that's right.
Levittown.
We wanted to talk about this. Very important.
Bob Nelson, one of the founders of Long Island comedy, hugely successful, a legend. You're talking The Tonight Show. Johnny Carson said that bit I just saw, the football bit, is the funniest 6 minutes anybody is ever going to see. He performed for President Reagan. He's performed everywhere. Done a lot of film and television work, and he's struggling with cancer. He's very hopeful. We're all very hopeful, but we're doing a benefit for Bob Nelson. Those of you who are Long Island comedy fans know about him.
On July 22nd.
July 22nd, Bonnie. Thank you so much.
Governors in Levittown.
At Governors in Levittown. Just go to govs.com. The tickets are $30. All the money, all the proceeds goes to Bob Nelson's medical fund, and it's we have Joey Cola and we have Jackie the Joke Man Martling and from Howard Stern
and George
and
Gallo.
Rob Bartlett from Imus in the Morning, John
Jackie the
Mulrooney,
Jokeman.
Jackie the Joke Man from
George Gallo.
George Gallo is spearheading this. It was his
And-
idea.
And
George-
Mandy and I are going to be on the basket committee. We're
Are you-
going to
you're
make
helping
the
too? That's so
baskets.
nice.
Yes.
That is so
So
nice.
we need donations. Give us anything you've got. You got something in your
We
house
need your
that
money.
gift certificates. You got.
But this is what Bonnie is saying is she needs raffle items
Thank you.
for
Yeah.
the baskets. And
Messenger Mandy or I, and we'll come to your house and get it. And then
If you're in the county.
we're donating a Stand-Up University scholarship.
Oh.
Robin, you should bid on that basket because that's
Yes.
worth $300.
Robin, do it, please.
Yeah, exactly. You only live once.
Yeah, and you don't want to, 30 years from now go, oh, I should have done that. You want to do it now. We are so supportive and welcoming. That goes to everybody watching. You could start out in stand-up comedy on your own, all alone, and show up at an open mic night. But we are supportive, and we're going to help you get that first 5-6 minutes together and the first show, and then you hit the open mic nights, and you are hitting the ground running.
And can I just say, even if you are already a comedian and you you need help writing new material because you're very busy and you never really make time for yourself, it's a great way to. It forces you to take a day of the week and just concentrate on that, and
if
helps
you're already
build your set.
Yes, if you're already a comedian, we're not going to let you fall back on that act that you already have. We're going to try and force you to come up with 5-6 new minutes, which is discipline, But we'll work together. It'll be fun. And overall, comedy's supposed to be about fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun now. This is fun. Your podcast is fun. That's why you do it, right?
Yes,
this is true.
Yes,
okay.
We did it.
Let's not
we did it
forget
through the pandemic with masks and gloves.
You had gloves on?
For like
we had
2
blue
episodes.
gloves.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
I was
like,
pouring the
now.
wine with my blue gloves on. No, Esther Forrester is already saying she can donate a tennis lesson. Esther, that's so sweet.
Oh, that's
of you.
awesome.
Oh my God, that's
Love it.
amazing.
Oh, that's
Esther
Esma.
Forrester is so sweet.
Esme.
That's nice. Thank you.
So my boyfriend's saying, so at stand-up, I didn't read this in advance, so I don't know what it's going to say. You are now doing coming out parties and gender reveals. Yes. Anything can happen at stand-up universe. That's why you go, because it's like the Jerry Springer mentality. You don't know what's going to happen. No, I'm joking.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you what you want to talk about. Comedians are their own editor. Nobody can tell you what to say and what not to say.
Right.
Nobody can
How much you
force
want to
you.
reveal or don't reveal.
Yeah, exactly. 100% right. All right. This is great.
So I don't have a watch. How are we doing on time?
We got 3 minutes here. Anything on
That's
your
it?
bucket list?
That's it? 3 minutes?
That's it.
3 minutes. This was great. This went so fast. What's on my bucket list?
Yeah.
I want to go to Disneyland, like Jennifer. I've been there, but I want to go back.
What's on my bucket list? I want to be a grandfather. I'm not yet, but maybe my 2 sons will give me a grandchild one day. But what bucket list? What do I need to do? Absolutely. I feel I'm in a good place right now. Does it show? I hope. I'm
very
not.
good.
So are you. You guys seem, we all have our challenges, but I'm happy.
Why do you look at me when you say that?
Mandy,
I'm just kidding.
you look honestly like you're falling apart, and I'm concerned. No, I'm kidding. You both look
She looks
handsome.
gorgeous.
I am
She's wearing
coughing.
a beautiful shirt, and she looks
Oh yeah,
gorgeous.
this was Alexis's.
That's my
Bonnie's
daughter's-
daughter.
My daughter's.
I got a bag of donation.
My daughter's a size 00, so be very proud of yourself that you can fit in that shirt.
Oh,
It's just
that's- I could probably fit in that shirt. I've lost.
I
some
could
weight.
fit that shirt up my arm.
You know what?
It looks
No,
amazing
it's
on
lovely,
you.
I
It looks
think,
amazing
it's
on
cute.
you.
My bucket list is just to keep doing what I'm doing. How about
Good.
that?
I like
That's my
it.
best
Let
answer.
the good times roll.
Yeah, let the good times roll.
I love
of course.
it.
Thank you,
I
Bill.
love it.
Bill is saying, great show tonight. Thank you, Bill. Andrew Fredner. I love Andrew. I always butcher his name. He said, hey, everybody. Hope everyone is well. Thank you. You came in at the end, but that's okay. You
So,
get participation points.
standupuniversity.com. What else, Peter? What else do you want to plug?
StandUpUniversity.com. That's all I want to plug.
On July 22nd, you want to be at the big room at Governor's in Levittown.
That's
That is
right.
it's a
Benefit
show.
for Bob Nelson.
Exactly.
You can find me on
Charity.
Facebook, and feel free to contact me. And you guys, I love you guys. And I want to work with you at a show and have fun.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there you go. Got to show up to the August if you want to be.
Mandy's very strict. You have to watch before you can get on the show. This is socialism comedy. At G's Club in West Hempstead. It's a beautiful venue. His wife, who's Steve Rocco Perillo, is the host. We've got amazing comedians, Kristen Tinsley, Esther, who donated the tennis lesson, and a lot of other people that I can't think of right now, that are going to do quick 5 minutes. And
That's going to be a great show. My wife, Peaches Rodriguez, will be there. She
she gets 100% every
She
time.
does. She's in the country legally now because she married me.
She's going to kill you do after that? That's hysterical.
Well, thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much
Peter.
for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This is the Wildflowers. You guys are terrific.
We're wild and we're free.